When you talk about individual talents in the Euros and which nation has the most, the top three to me are France, of course, nothing more to be said there, England, who I just made a video about, and Portugal. And something about Portugal this year is very different to every other year, including their Euro winning campaign in 2016. Not only is this the most stacked Portugal have been pretty much ever, but this is also the first time ever that Portugal have won every single qualifying game in preparation for the Euros. And this Portugal under Roberto Martinez is different to the past teams. With Ronaldo still in their ranks, they don't solely rely on Ronaldo anymore to carry the load of goal scoring. They don't just look for Ronaldo and hope. This Portuguese team has some extremely competent players and a lot of goal scorers and game changers all around the team, which also allows Ronaldo to play as a 9 in the team. This team works so much better as a unit as opposed to all the other Portuguese teams we've seen in the past. So with all the things in favor of Portugal, could they win the Euros this summer? And why are they not seen as favorites by the vast majority of people? Well, that's what we'll be talking about today. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Back of the Net here. I hope you're all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, with Portugal getting rid of Fernando Santos, who won Portugal their first 2 international trophies ever, Portugal hired ex-Belgium manager Roberto Martinez to replace him. Roberto, although didn't have much tournament success with Belgium, he did keep Belgium as the #1 ranked team for 4 years straight, which is pretty impressive. And under Roberto Martinez, Portugal has also become far more fluid and aggressive in their style of play, something that Portuguese fans have been screaming out for, considering that the players that they have. I mean, under Fernando Santos, Portugal were more conservative and counter-attacking even when they had all the talent in the world. Yet, under Martinez, they press much higher up on the field, they tend to play out from the back more, and under Martinez, they have switched from a back 4 to a back 3. And if you look at the squad that Portugal are bringing to the Euros, Portugal have some much-needed veterans like Pepe, who is 40, but is still somehow a masterful centre-back at Porto. You have Danilo Pereira from PSG, you have Rui Patricio, who probably won't be the starting keeper, but is a good vet to have in the locker room. And of course, you have Cristiano Ronaldo. Then they have guys in their middle to late 20s who are in their prime, like João Cancelo, Ruben Dias, Bruno Fernandes, João Paulinho, Bernardo Silva, Jota, Rafael Leao, who is 25 years old. And then you have much younger guys who have performed so well for their club, like Antonio Silva, João Neves, both of Benfica, Vitinha of PSG, who was just included in the UEFA Champions League Team of the Season, and I mean rightfully so. You have Gonçalo Inácio of Sporting, Nuno Mendes of PSG, Gonçalo Ramos of PSG, Conceição of Porto, and even João Felix, who is still just 24 years old, coming off a pretty good season with Barcelona, where he finished off as their second highest goal scorer. They for sure have the talent on paper to win the tournament. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Their team is stacked with vets, guys in their prime, and younger players. It's just about how they play as a unit. They come into this tournament winning 10 out of their 10 games in qualifiers for the first time in their history, and they play a much more attacking style of play than under Fernando Santos, which is very good. I mean, a lot of Portugal's talent lies in their attacking areas. And also when you have holding midfield talent like Paulinho, Mateus Nunes, Ruben Neves, or even the youngster João Neves at Benfica, who has proven to be a very talented midfielder who is tactically and technically so good, allowing them to be a little more aggressive attacking-wise. I mean, in defense, they have a lot of good centre-backs, which allows them to play the 3 at the back. And then for your wing-backs, you have guys like Nuno Mendes and Diogo Dalot, who will be allowed to attack a lot more in the setup. Ronaldo will be playing centrally as a 9, allowing guys like Felix, Jota, or even Bernardo Silva to play alongside Ronaldo, but drop deep into the 10 role when needed. Bruno will most likely be a central midfielder alongside one of the holding midfielders. This team on paper is absolutely stacked. And when they play together as a unit in qualifiers already, they have proven that they work really well together. They're a free-flowing team. They're not too focused on giving Ronaldo the ball and hoping like they did under Fernando Santos. This team has a lot more belief in themselves, and they play much better as a unit, which allows Ronaldo to play a much easier role of just being a poacher in the box, which fits Ronaldo's game at this moment in time perfectly. Like I said, on paper, this is arguably a top 3 team in the Euros. France, England, and Portugal. Those are my top 3 on paper. And if they can put it together on the pitch, it's very likely that Portugal could go all the way and win the tournament outright. They have a fairly easy group. They should get out their group, winning the group quite comfortably, and then it's all about how they do in the knockouts. I believe this team have proven already that they play really well as a unit. Outside of one loss in the friendlies, they've looked really impressive. They've just had their best qualifying campaign ever. They are the most stacked the squad has ever been, and although Ronaldo is now in Saudi Arabia, don't get it twisted, he is still a world-class finisher. I mean, he just proved that against Ireland, and he is still a world-class leader, hence why he is the captain of Portugal. This Portuguese team is genuinely so stacked, have proven that they play well together. Under Roberto Martinez, they play a good free-flowing attacking style of football. They could go all the way and win the Euros.